Hey, folks, welcome to InTheMoneyStocks.com's intraday analysis video, brought to you by the creators of proprietary price, pattern, and time methodology. Let's get started today. My name is Gareth Soloway, Chief Market Strategist here. Tuesday, October 7th is the date, and what a monster winning day it was again today. Check this out, guys. We just closed out Molycorp calls, MCP calls. Guess how much we've made on these things? 57%. And if you're a Research Center member, you got this alert via the hot charts and alerts. If you're not a member, honestly, it's kind of crazy not to be. Check this out. Yesterday, in the options alerts, we closed out in one day a dollar put play for 50%. Today, a Molycorp call play for 57%. All right, folks. And again, audited, track record, time-stamped. Talk to any of our members. This is what we're doing here at InTheMoneyStocks.com. In addition, I've been telling you guys corn was going to rip. Today it ripped again. I did close out my calls on corn, which I picked up a few weeks ago. Didn't make a ton on them. I'd say about 15 to 20%, which is nothing to sneeze about, considering I had about 1,200. That's right, folks. 1,200 calls. I'm playing with big money here. You want to play with the big boys? Come join. If you don't have a lot of money, doesn't matter. You can do it anyways. All right, and again, this is what it's all about. I also closed out a stock trade today for 5% winner. Guess what it was on? Sugar. I took my profits. I started to see negative signals approaching here. We were in from down here and the pop here. So a 5% gain on SGG. And that's the ETF. That's a stock trade. So I'm doing options. I'm doing stocks. I'm doing it all. Because, again, we use the PPT methodology, and it works for everything. If you know what you're doing, you can profit on everything. That's what it's all about. All right. So that's where we are right now, guys. Pretty amazing stuff. Going back to the SPY, let's take a gander at the intraday. Please notice that on the intraday basis, the SPY is just going sideways today. Notice how the lows from yesterday right here, and there's a trend line, the gap fill right here, and look at the market. It's just chopping between those two lines. You would give the market a slight negative bias only because the moving averages are above current price, so that's going to work as a little bit of a ceiling unless the market gets a buy program. So again, right now you'd have maybe a 60-40 bearish side to the market, but that's about it. It's very neutral to slightly bearish, and again, that's how you'd angle it. If you break below this gap fill, you're going down to double bottom at 192.50. All right. By the way, one stock that's on my radar, there's a couple stocks that I'm watching. GoPro. Why am I following GoPro? Well, first of all, it rolled over here after getting close to 100 even number. I would have preferred a pierce of 100 even number, but look at the daily. You may have a topping tail, the first real official good topping tail here on the daily, depending on where it closes today. So we'll be watching. I would have preferred if it did get through 100 on the even number, but you can't have everything. I'm not in this because to me it's unshortable, but I can still play the options. I'm not in the options yet. I will decide tomorrow if I want to get in on the options. Okay, so again, based on what I see tomorrow, if we get if we get a topping tail today and a retrace tomorrow to a certain level, then I would take a stab at it. I think the other chance would be also if tomorrow it rushes above 100 even number, I'd probably take a stab there as well. Aside from that, nothing really going on. CLF is on watch with me, put in a doji yesterday, but it is starting to sell off. And again, these are just on watch. I'm not entering these. I don't have positions in these. But again, it's starting to sell off, so I'm monitoring this as I'm keeping close tabs on it. This is really an amazing drop from 14 to about $8 here. I wouldn't mind a flush down from this high, which was it's about $15. So down to about $7.50 would be an interesting 50% haircut in the stock down there. I think this is oversold, but I don't know if it is at this point bottoming yet. I don't know yet. That's what we're going to be watching to find out, so I'll be keeping close tabs on this one as well. All right, so there's lots going on out there, lots of opportunities, a couple other stocks that are on my radar. Facebook, I'm keeping a close eye on Facebook. To me, this looks like it's running out of steam up here. So again, if you're a member here, you know exactly what I've done here with Facebook and how I did it and what my entry is and so forth. And again, that's if you're actually, believe it or not, if you're an Options Alerts member. So again, you can have the Options Alerts. You could have the Research Center. They're two independent services. Okay, one gives you, the research center gives you swing trade alerts on stocks, ETFs, as well as videos on commentary, market analysis, live broadcasts. And then you have the options alerts, which is just simply options alerts. Now you're going to get alerts in both, but one's options, one's stocks. Research Center gives you stock and ETF alerts. So if you're trading stocks and swing trading, that's that. Options alerts obviously give you alerts on options. All right, guys. And again, they're independent services. You can choose which one or join both. That's the best way to do it, to be honest. If you really want to become a master and make lots of money, both is obviously the way to go. So you get the commentary from the research center as well as the options alerts. All right, a couple other things to go over here, guys. A couple other stocks I'm following. BABA, BABA, flattish on the day. This stock, again, has just been really in a range. If this were to sell off to about $75, I would get very interested in it. Very, very interested in it as a trading opportunity on a long basis. Cree continues to take a beating. Take a look at this. This stock warned on earnings and is continuing to fall. Where is this going? Well, number one, you can see there was a gap fill right here, and now below the gap fill. So guess where it's going? Right here to about 31 and change. Once it gets to about 30 to 31, I will reevaluate, see if I'm interested in getting involved in that. All right, no guarantees again, but I'm just giving you kind of a stationary setup for what I will be looking at going forward. All right, and again, a couple other things today. The dollar, the UUP is flat on the day. In response, the euro is flat. I still think the euro has more upside to it. Again, notice how the euro did the gap fill here, but I actually think you're probably going to bounce back to the 20 MA, which is right now at 126. That's another $1.40 upside on the UUP, depending on where that 20 is before it starts to stall out. Really, I think today's a perfect example. Look at it. You had a wide range green candle yesterday, and then a pause candle today, and that's about as good of a pause candle as you can get. So we'll be watching that one very, very, I repeat, very closely in the coming days as well. Other than that, folks, again, we're seeing a mixed bag on oil stocks. For instance, Chevron's down today. CVX is down a little bit, still trying to hold its base. But SDRL has been a monster today, even though it's pulled off of its highs up 2.5%. That stock's very oversold. That's an oil drilling stock as well. Exxon is hovering down slightly on the day. Boeing's taking a hit. Again, we see the markets down pretty nicely across the board. Dow down 125, NASDAQ down 31.5, and S&P down almost 12. All right, guys, remember, come join us here at InTheMoneyStocks.com. This is where the money's being made. If you know what you're doing, which we do, and we're going to do our best to guide you to the profit zone. I'm not going to guarantee every trade will be a winner because it's not, but the point is we put an 80% success rate up, and that is awesome. You're not going to find a hedge fund out there doing any better, let alone anyone else. Take care, guys.